All right, folks, time to talk about those action wrestling shows. The October 2nd doubleheader that went up on IWTV went up real quick. Caught me off guard a little bit. I thought I might have more time to get these videos done. Anyhow, I got my son over here right off screen. He's going to read the match to me while we talk about them. What we got, bud?
Bobby Flacco versus Rob Killjoy.
Match was a lot of fun. Similar guys, high flying, good way to start the show. Really enjoyed it. I like Killjoy, but Flacco's our hometown hero, so uh, pretty happy to see him get the win there. What's next?
Luther X versus Kung Fu Johnny Janela.
Oh yeah, Luther X is a guy that I knew a little bit. I saw him almost start a riot at a Scenic City show, which was pretty rad. Uh, Kung Fu Donnie is a pretty big crowd favorite, and pretty much everywhere he goes, it seems, and the action fans seem to have embraced him. I really enjoyed that match because, well, like I said, I'm pretty high on Luther, and Donnie's always a fun time, so uh, pretty good match there between those two. Who we got next?
Jaden Newman versus Sean Dean.
Yeah, this is exactly what you expect. Sean Dean doing some incredible, high flying. Sean Dean's always looking real jacked, and then Jaden Newman and all his nonsensical shenanigans, and with his victory laps and all that, and then he beats Sean Dean with a handful of tights. Real punk behavior there, Jaden. But who we got?
Fred Yehi versus Kevin Ryan.
Fred Yehi, I'm very high on. Guy that helped build action into what it's become today. Love that. So Kevin Ryan's a daredevil, risk taker. He was trying to step up against a guy that's like one of those dudes on the scene. So really enjoyed that match. Glad to see Fred come back in winning fashion and action. Seems like it's been far too long since we saw Fred. Love that guy. What else?
Shug D versus Joey Keys.
Shug D, Joe Keys was interesting because, first of all, it was my first time seeing Joe Keys. Dude's got a great look. He can go in the ring. We love Shug D. It was kind of funny because he mentioned that he was going to give old Joe the serious work. He wasn't getting the funsies. And so he gave him that work. And Shug is just such an interesting performer. And both of his matches recently in action are interesting because you can see a lot of a diversity of opinion on the style of match he's wrestled. But one thing I really liked about this match was with them they really kind of subverted your expectations because I thought for sure it was going to a count out, and Shug managed to get the victory right under the wire there. So really good match. Like both guys. Who else?
Nolan Edward versus JD Drake.
Nolan Edward versus JD Drake. That's one of those deals where that was, like I said, wrestling melodrama done right. You gotta love that kind of stuff. These guys hard hitting. Both are phenomenal talents. Obviously, JD Drake, a established one. Nolan Edward, a guy that's clearly on the rise, as his Action Future Showcase tournament win the next night attests. Really enjoyed this match. This was my match of the whole evening. Big fan of both these guys. Very excited to see them anytime they're going to be on a card that I'm going to get to be at. And it was, like I said, the melodrama was done right at the end with J.D. Drake giving Nolan the towel. And Nolan says he's going to carry that very towel with him throughout the rest of his career. And, it was a very cool moment. Very cool moment. So that was it for Action Shock.
Are we going right into?
That was it for Action Shock. So the next part of this doubleheader was Friday Night Fights. So what do we got as the first match there, bud?
The rock and roll model Matt Sells versus Ken Dixon.
Ken Dixon surprised me. Bigger than I realized he was. Great look. Excellent heel. You're taking on Matt Sells. Matt Sells, house. So the crowd loved that. And Matt Sells has won, I think, 3 matches in a row now in action after that long losing streak. He got right against the ace god, Eric Royal, and has been rolling ever since in action, so good for him. Who else?
Adam Priest versus Eric Martin.
Adam Priest I've only seen a handful of times now. Really impressed me. Intensity personified. He's going to win by hook or by crook. He don't care how he gets it done. Eric Martin was also impressive, I thought. Guy had, like Ken Dixon, a guy that was bigger than I had any reason to believe he was. I liked what I saw out of both these guys. Good athletic match, and I'd like to see more of both of those guys. What else you got?
Eric Royal versus Hoodfoot.
Eric Royal versus Hoodfoot. Now that was a hoss fight, and if you know me, hoss fights are about one of my favorite type of match. So that was the good stuff. The entrance attires made it worth its while. Unfortunately, Hoodfoot didn't quite get the job done, but beating Eric Royal is a lot easier said than done. But again, don't ever forget about the immaculate drip and the entrance attires there. So it was quite the spectacle. What else?
Angelus Lane versus O'Shea Edwards.
Angelus Lane, I apologize. Trips me out because for the years I thought it was said the other way, and I didn't realize otherwise. Anyways, so you got Angelus, who's a SouthAtlantaWrestling.com favorite, a new one, against O'Shea Edwards, who's an old SouthAtlantaWrestling.com favorite. And that match was just about as violent as you would expect out of those two. And, she got a little help from the low blow there, but I don't know. It was a heck of a match, and I've seen her wrestle 2 or 3 times now, and she just absolutely delivers all the time. And of course, O'Shea's our guy going way back. So it definitely something I want to see more of is both of those folks. I'm quite certain we will. What's the next match, son?
AC Mack versus Brett Ison.
So our next match is actually our last match of the evening, the last match of Friday Night Fights, the last match of the doubleheader. AC Mack was defending Alice and Bonnie, the Action Wrestling Championship, and Sup Bone Storm Championship against Brett Ison. Story here was that Brett had gotten his foot or hand, I can't remember, on the rope in a previous match against AC Mack. The referee didn't see it. AC Mack gets the win. So Action decides that with all the ill will between these guys and the controversy about the ropes, the best way to settle it's a no DQ, no rope match. And when I tell you these dudes beat the heck out of each other, they did. And when I tell you that AC Mack did something that I did not expect to see him do, he did. And it was one... I've used the term spectacle a couple times. I wish I kind of saved it because I think spectacle was the best way to describe this match. And again, it had a little bit of that wrestling melodrama that you like. So it was either it or Lane versus Edwards, O'Shea, or my match of the second half of the doubleheader. And those were the top 3 matches. The best 3 matches of the night, in my opinion, were JD Drake, Nolan Edward, O'Shea versus Angelus, and AC Mack versus Brett Ison. So all 3 of those matches really delivered. So it was a great night of wrestling, I thought, and I think everybody, there was 35 of us there, were pretty happy with how the night went. So check them out on IWTV, promo code ACTION, gives you 5 free days, and as always, check out SouthAtlantaWrestling.com. We talk about, unofficial archivist for Action and a sponsor. And we talk WWE, a lot of Roman Reigns talk. We talk fast food takes, whatever comes up, really, whatever crosses our mind. My son here, who's been helping me off camera, is going to been doing some figure reviews. So if you like the G.I. Joe classified line, or you're interested in, say, the McFarlane Multiverse DC Comics figures, give the site a look. SouthAtlantaWrestling.com. All right, we'll catch y'all next time.